Surah 43. Az-Zukhruf, by the one who is denoted by the name Allah, who created my being with his names in accord with the meaning of the letter B, the Rahman, the Rahim, Ha-Mim, by the knowledge that clearly discloses the reality. Indeed, we have made it an Arabic Quran so that you may use your intellect, understand and evaluate it. And indeed it is in the mother of books, the knowledge of Allah, in our presence, high in dignity, Ali, and full of wisdom, Hakim. Shall we forsake warning you, because you are a people who transgress, squander your inherent essential forces, and many Anbiya, messenger prophets, we have disclosed within previous peoples, but whenever a Nabi, newsbringer, came to them, they mocked at what he brought. So we destroyed many nations mightier than them because of it. The former people became history full of exemplary lessons. Indeed, if you were to ask them who created the heavens and the earth, they would surely say, the Aziz and Alim one, mighty knowing. It is he who made the earth body a cradle for you to grow in, and formed pathways of thought upon it, that you may be guided to the reality. It is he who sent down water, knowledge, from the sky in measured amounts, and with it we revived a dead land, consciousness. Thus will you be brought out from your graves, bodies. It is he who created the pairs, double helix DNA, and formed ships, consciousness, and animals, biological body, upon which you ride, that you may settle yourselves upon their backs, and when you have settled upon them, remember the favor of your Rabb, and say, Exalted Subhan is he who has subjected this to us, otherwise we could not have evaluated it. We will surely reach our Rabb through continuous transformation. But they attributed a portion of his servants to him, denied his absolute oneness, and assuming him to be made up of parts, claimed he had a son, and other examples of polytheism. Indeed, man is clearly ungrateful, or has he taken the daughters for himself out of his creation, and left the sons for you? When one of them is given the news of a daughter, which he attributes to the Rahman, most beneficent, his face becomes dark with grief. Or do you attribute the one brought up in ornaments, daughters, who you consider unable to engage in an argument, to Allah? They define the servant angels, Malaka, of Allah as females. Were they witnesses to their creation? Their testimony is recorded. They will be questioned. They said, had Rahman, the Beneficent, willed, we would not have served them. They have no knowledge, evidence, certainty of that. They only talk nonsense based on mere assumptions. Or did we give them the knowledge, book, before this, on which they are basing their claims? On the contrary, they said, we found our forefathers upon this religious understanding, and we are guided to the reality upon their footsteps, conditionings, genes. Thus it is, to whichever people we disclosed a warner before you, its wealthy leaders said, we found our forefathers upon this religious understanding, and we follow their work, conditionings, genes. The Rasul of Allah said, even if I had brought you that which is more correct than what you found your forefathers upon. And they said, we reject the knowledge with which you have been disclosed. So we took revenge from them. Look at the end of those who denied, and mention when Abraham said to his father and his people, indeed I am disassociated from what that you idolize. From that which you idolize, probably better language for the translation, except for He who created me upon a natural disposition, creational program. Indeed, it is He who will guide me to the reality. He made this word a lasting thought throughout later generations, that perhaps they will turn back to the truth. I made them and their forefathers enjoy of the world until there came to them the truth and a clear Rasul, messenger. But when the truth came to them, they said, "This is magic. We do not accept it." And by magic, they mean evil magic or playing with the jinn, or literally, or trickeries associated with the meaning of sihr. They said, "Why was this Quran not sent to one of the great men of these two cities? Do they distribute the grace of your Rabb? It is we who have apportioned among them their livelihood in the life of this world. We raise some over others in terms of wealth and rank, so that some may subjugate others." Now, when you have three dots, some people say, is there words left out? There's not words left out, but are you supposed to pause? It's like, so I'm telling myself not to pause, but I don't always. The grace of your Rabb is better than the things they accumulate of wealth. And if it were not that the people would become a community of a single way through wealth, as wealth exhilarates externalized living and deprives one from inner wealth, surely we would have made, for those who deny the Rahman, comprises their essence, houses with silver ceilings and silver staircases upon which to climb, and for their house silver doors and couches to rest upon, and ornaments of gold, but all that is nothing but the temporary pleasures of the worldly life, and the eternal life to come is for those who are protected in the sight of their Rabb. And whoever is blinded with external things from the remembrance of Rahman, remembering that his essential reality is composed of the names of Allah, and thus from living the requirements of this, we appoint for him a Satan, a delusion, the idea that he is only the physical body, and that life should be lived in pursuit of bodily pleasures, and this belief will become his new identity. And indeed, these will avert him from the way of the reality, while they think that they are on the right path. When finally he came to us, he said to his friend, "I wish there was between you and I the distance between the two easts as unreachable distance. How wretched a friend you are! And never will they, feelings of regret, excuses, the desire to compensate, benefit you during this time. For you did wrong, you are partners, consciousness, and the spirit body in suffering. Will you make the deaf hear, or will you guide the blind and those who are in clear error? Even if we were to take you from the world, we will surely take revenge from them, or will we show you what we have promised them? We have power to do whatever we will to them. So adhere to that which has been revealed to you. Indeed, you are on the right path. Indeed, it is a remembrance for you and your people. Soon you will be questioned for what you are responsible. And acts those we disclose before you among our Rasuls, not right plural, but our messengers, study the knowledge that was given to them. Have we formed gods to be served besides Rahman, the Beneficent? Indeed, we disclose Moses with our signs to Pharaoh and his eminent ones, and Moses said, I am the Rasul, messenger of the Rabb, Lord of the worlds. But when he came to them with our signs at once, they laughed at them. Every miracle we showed was greater than the previous one, and we seized them with the suffering that perhaps they will turn to us. And they said, O magician, pray to your Rabb by virtue of your contract with him. We will be guided. But when we removed the suffering from them, they broke their word immediately. Pharaoh called out among his people, O my people, does not the kingdom of Egypt and these rivers flowing beneath me belong to me? Do you still not see? Or am I not better than this insignificant one who can hardly explain himself? If Moses is really as he claims to be, should there not have been placed upon him bracelets of gold or angels accompanying him? Pharaoh fooled his people, and they obeyed him. Indeed, they were a people corrupt in faith. And when they angered us, we made them live the consequence of their deeds and drowned them all. We made them a precedent and an example for latter generations, and when the Son of Mary was presented as an example, immediately your people turned away. They said, Are our gods better or him? They only presented this to dispute with you. They are a people fond of dispute. He was a servant upon whom we bestowed favor and made an example for the children of Israel, that they may take a lesson. Had we willed, we could have formed angels from you to be the vicegerents on earth, but we made you humans containing angelic properties instead. Indeed, he has the knowledge of the hour, so do not be in doubt thereof and follow me. This is the right way. Let not Satan prevent you. Indeed, he is to you a clear enemy. When Jesus came out with clear proofs, he said, I have indeed brought wisdom, the truth about the system and order to you, and came to explain some of that over which you differ. So protect yourselves from Allah, as he will subject you to the consequences of your actions, and follow me. Indeed, Allah, who is my Rabb and your Rabb, so serve him. This is the right way. But those who differed in understanding fell into opposition between themselves. Woe to those who wrong themselves from the suffering of a severe time. Do they await something other than the hour of death, doomsday, to come suddenly upon them while they are not aware? Close friends of worldly pleasures at that time will become enemies to one another, except those who protect themselves. O my servants, there is no fear for you at this time, nor will you grieve. They believed in our signs within their being and became of those who accepted being in submission. So enter paradise, you and your partners, consciousness and spirit bodies, with joy and pleasure. Plates and jugs made of gold will be circulated above them, and therein is whatever they, their consciousness, desire, and their eyes take delight in. Pleasurable insight, observation of forces, you will abide therein eternally. This is the paradise that you are made to inherit as a result of your deeds. There are many varieties of fruits, gnosis, therein from which you will which you will eat. Indeed, the guilty duelist will abide eternally in the suffering of hell. Their suffering will not be lightened. They are in despair therein about the future. And we did not wrong them. It was they who wronged themselves. They will call out, O Malik, keeper of hell, let your Rabb pass judgment against us, kill us. Malik will say, Indeed you are of those who will remain here in this state. Indeed, we came to you as the truth, but most of you despise the truth. Or will they decide on what the truth is? It is we who determine the truth. Or did they think we could not hear what they concealed and whispered, Yes, we hear. And our messengers with them are recording, say, If Rahman had a child, I would have been the first to worship him. But the Rabb of the heavens and the earth, the Rabb of the throne, is beyond their definitions of him. So let them immerse in their worlds and amuse themselves until they meet the promised time. It is he who is thought to be the God of the heavens with his names, and the God of the earth, who, knowing, the Hakim, the Alim, wise, knowing. Sublime and blessed is he to whom belongs the sovereignty of the heavens, the earth, and everything between them. The knowledge of that hour of death, doomsday, is with him. To him you will be returned. Those to whom they turn besides him have no power of intercession except those who consciously testify to the truth. Indeed, if you were to ask them who created them, they would surely say, Allah. So, how are they averted from the truth? His word is, my Rabb. These are people who do not believe. Do not pay attention to them and say salam, peace. They will know the reality of the matter soon. And some people try to play games nowadays that instead of admitting that different languages use different terms, like Allah as the singular and definitive word for God when speaking Arabic. People's like, oh, well, what does it say Allah is God? It's like, in Arabic, this passage of the Bible, or this passage of this, that, and the other, will admit that. Or if you want to play the game that some people play, it will admit that this is a name of God. So the name of God isn't God, but that can get very confusing.